I have a friend that I've been friends with for a long time, and she unfollowed me. That means something, right?
I think everybody needs to study the psychology of human behavior. Mm-hmm. Because I don't expect people to not disappoint me. I don't expect them to disappoint me. I expect people to be human.
Yes.
And if we just understand how humans operate, how humans make decisions, how human emotions are created and impacted, then less things would bother you to that degree. If you are a person who right now, where you are in your life, you tend to see the negative things easier than you are able to see the positive things, then your mindset is based on what you know and your experiences at this time, and vice versa.
Is it a photo shoot? Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. I'm here. I'm David.
I am Donnie.
Ready to talk about some stuff?
I'm ready to talk about some stuff.
Maybe okay, let me ask you how your week is, because the thing that I really want to talk about it's bothering me, but it's bothering me because it doesn't bother me, and I think it should bother me more. So
does it have anything to do with me?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
I don't want it to have anything to do with me, Dave. This is not going to be.
You don't even know what it is, so.
Okay. All right. My week has been phenomenal. So, I don't know why, but Podcast Summit took a lot out of me, really, because, we set up as vendors. I had to get all the banners. I don't do that stuff, right? Yeah. When I do events, I show up. Yeah. It's me in a small room of 40 people, and we working. So having to order merch and bags and accessories, and I was stressed out. Yeah. I couldn't focus on anything else. And so this week has really been, and then trying to track these people down. Yeah. I haven't been able, who are in our program, trying to track them down and getting everybody on schedules to call, answer the phone, pick up the phone. It's an undertaking that's going over. Okay, I got calls on my schedule this week trying to get that straight. Got it. So that's been really amazing. I'm really excited because I went to a dermatologist at the end of last week. And, for the last couple of years, I have not been able to figure out why my face just started breaking out like crazy. And it's been something that has been bothering the crap out of me because I'm too fine for this. I'm too fine for adult acne. Who gets adult acne when they about to be 40 years old, right? That's when it started for me. And finally, I saw a dermatologist that gave me an answer that makes me feel like, okay, in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, we'll be somewhere.
Drink water?
No. So I have an overactive hormone that apparently will be here until menopause, that was triggered after childbirth and all of this stuff that I never ever knew about. But basically I have raging teenage hormones, and it's a hormone that women produce a little of. Because it's a man's hormone and women produce a little bit of it. I produce more of it, and it doesn't go away until you hit menopause. So anytime I've been going to the dermatologist and they fix it and then it just comes right back, I'm like, what is going on? This woman finally said, unfortunately, you'll be on a regimen to balance this hormone out until you actually hit menopause. And finally, I'm taking a deep sigh because we're gonna see what's I don't know today's date. Today's date is the date that you saw this. 90 days from that, we're gonna come back and see if I can stop all of this dang on breaking out, because it is ruining my little self-esteem, honey.
Does it have anything to do with your love drive?
My sex drive?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually it could. Oh my God.
Is that why you?
Oh my God. I didn't ask that question, but it is.
Does that explain a lot?
I want to say the hormone is androgen, something like that. Y'all look that up and y'all tell me.
Your daughter said, never mind.
We'll
change the subject.
Y'all tell me, because it could very well.
They just said thank you.
It could very well have something to do with that. So anyway, that's my bit of what do you call that? Light at the end of the tunnel. It's so hot in here.
Is it?
Yes.
Are y'all hot?
Oh my God.
Okay, we can turn that one on. Let's turn that air on. All right, let me talk about. Here we go. Let me talk about what you can get up to sell. All right, so this is bothering me, man. I have a friend that I've been friends with for a long time, and she unfollowed me. Doesn't that mean, so why, that means something, right? Like say somebody unfollows you. Now they're not getting on social media. They didn't do like a mass unfollow or anything like that. She unfollowed me. That ain't strange.
So
You would feel a way if like somebody that you rock with for a minute unfollowed you? You have something to say? Okay, go for it.
Can you tell me who it was first?
I'll show you.
Okay.
It's the wildest thing. And I think if I gave you 100 guesses, you probably wouldn't guess this person.
Who?
I'm about to show you. Go for it.
I was gonna say sometimes things like that happen when they can't take what's going on in your life. It might be that you're leveling up to a certain point and they're just like,
You'd have never guessed.
Let me check.
You're gonna check what?
To see if they unfollowed me.
Check to see if they unfollowed you.
I'm about to check.
I'm about to check to see if that person's following you. Let's see.
She unfollowed me.
So it's your fault.
I know what it is.
What is it?
I'm not going to say it here. We're going to talk off site. I know exactly why they did.
Did I do something to them? Yep.
No, you didn't do anything. It has nothing to do.
Here's the thing.
It has everything to do with this person.
With that person. You think so?
They follow them heavy.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if they're following that person. That person not following that person.
They follow them because we've talked about it before. We've discussed it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We've discussed it.
But here's the thing. The last time we spoke was right before Podcast Summit.
Because of that person.
What is that? So the last time I actually spoke to this person, she sent me a message saying that I was acting funny maybe because I didn't invite her to the summit. When I'm planning a whole summit, how do you think of every single person when you're planning a summit? And then I think our last text was, in the way she put it, was like, yo, I'm acting funny. I'm like, yo, the last time we talked before this, you asked me for something and I did it. And I'm going through like my messages and looking through the last few times we talked, it was me doing something for them. And I've been like, I've never taken anything from the person. Like I don't ever ask the person for favors typically. And I couldn't understand it. So I'm going through all this in my head and I'm thinking maybe it wasn't on purpose. Maybe it wasn't intentional. So I sent a text and I say, hey, did you unfollow me? No, I sent a DM. Did you unfollow me intentionally? Giving the benefit of the doubt. And she replies, yes. And I either said okay or I just was like, all right, well, I'll just unfollow you.
What made you go searching for that?
I don't know. Just every now and again, like random, I might see somebody, maybe I didn't see them in a while, or I haven't engaged with the person. And I really don't know what made me ask.
I'm going to call that person after the podcast.
Are you?
For sure. Because we're not friends like y'all are friends, but we've always been cool. We've met, like we've sat down and we've met, had lunch. Like she was there for me during a really difficult time when I was going through all that stuff with depression. And she's like, hey, get out the house. Lunch is on me. We were building a relationship and there's no reason for it. Now, if it's because she's upset, there's a couple of people who feel a way about not being invited to the podcast summit. I need you guys to know this real quick. That was all Dave. Podcast Summit was not my event. Podcast Summit was not my event, okay? David and I are business partners, but that was 100% his event. I'm just gonna put that out there. I had nothing to do with the decision making. I didn't even know what I was doing until I was backstage, okay? I'm gonna just put that out there. Roll you under the bus. No, but in all seriousness, when you're putting and it probably is more that than it is what I showed you. Mm-hmm. But I do know that was bothering that person too. When you're putting on an event, guys, like at a scale of you're expecting 1,000 people to be there and there's only 2.5 days, everybody can't come. And everybody, not even that everybody can't come and be a featured guest to speak, right? We'd be there, we still be there if everybody who was our friend was a featured guest to speak. And you just don't, we won't remember everybody. We won't remember everybody. I wouldn't have remembered to even invite my best friend to come support us if she weren't helping on the team. There's so many people that have said like, oh, I didn't get invited to y'all little podcast summit. First of all, big summit. Respect that, right? First of all, but it's never anything personal. Like, I know that Dave didn't sit down and say, I am intentionally not inviting this person, right? I'm intentionally not inviting this person. And I can understand feeling away, because I feel a way about not being invited to certain things. I just said that to you. Like, that's real weird that I'm not invited to certain stuff. But I don't know. I don't know that it's everybody just not gonna get invited.
This person I have been friends with.
Y'all are real friends.
For a year, probably a decade.
At least.
Just good. Like, we never had any falling out, never had any beef about anything. It's never been anything but like good vibes. But then here's why I feel bad. I feel bad because I didn't think to mend it and find out what's going on. Maybe somebody told her that I said something about her.
Did you?
No, of course not.
So who would tell why?
Weird stuff happens all the time. I'm just saying there could be some sort of misunderstanding, or I make a post about something and the person thinks that the post is about them. Mm-hmm. Or you just never know. You just never know. Somebody's talking bad about the person and I happen to be in the room, and the person in the room goes back and tells the person, hey, yeah, Dave was there too. Which that didn't happen. But I'm saying there's always some sort of like reason. And I think our friendship, if we have one, deserves a conversation. But it's when she said yes, I just one word response. Yeah, it was yes.
And then that person, as sweet as she, I think we all have a slight, a slight sensitivity edge. That person, as sweet as she is, usually when people have a really like tough exterior, they're really, really sensitive on the inside. So if there's something that she's misinterpreting right now, then, she's one way or the other. She's like all in or all out. She's very, I mess with you or I don't mess with you. Mm-hmm. And so if in her mind, from her perspective, obviously we did something to her, because why did I get unfollowed? If in her mind we did something to her, she's standing on that.
Yeah.
But it is worth a conversation.
It is worth a conversation. But am I going to have the conversation? Do I...
I'm about to text her now and tell her I'm calling her.
But you're not going to call her right now.
No. After this episode. Ma'am. Can I?
mean, yeah.
Are you going to feel away? Okay.
No, that's part of the reason. I just when I saw it in the moment, I was like, dang, that's unfortunate. And then I go about my day. I didn't really start thinking about it until today. Like, this would be a conversation to talk about. And somebody that I have that history with, I actually made this post the other day. That was crazy. But I was talking about like when people offend me. I have a real... it's real easy for me to just not talk to you for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Is that when you made that post?
No. I'm just saying that was days before I realized the unfollow. I didn't realize the unfollow until Saturday. It was really early, and I don't know why. Every now and again, I just go check sometime. Like
If I unfollowed you, would you be as upset?
Would I be as upset? Well, you'd have to talk about it, of course.
I'm just making sure you feel away too if I unfollow you.
You get a call for sure.
No, I think so. This happens often. I have been unfollowed and refollowed. Like sometimes people sometimes people take, I kind of can go in on Instagram. Like, I'm highly opinionated and I stand 10 toes down. And sometimes people feel like I'm directing or projecting something at them when I sincerely wasn't even thinking about you. But if the shoe fits, like, just because I may not agree with something that you're doing or whatever, doesn't mean that I want to be your enemy or I don't want to be your friend. Yeah. In this case, I think it's really a matter of a real misunderstanding. And it probably, think about it. Let's say that person had a podcast summit and they didn't invite you.
It's not my event, so they didn't. First off, I don't get invited to a lot of stuff.
Me too.
Yes, you do. You get invited to more than me?
No. You know what bothered me the other day? Not even the other day. This is about 2 months ago. I'm speaking at, it wasn't 2 months, maybe a month and a half ago.
Speaking of something I wasn't invited to. Probably.
I'm speaking at Marcus Rozier's event.
Yep, I didn't get invited.
And
do I follow Marcus though? Like, that's my guy. That's his event and he's shaping it the way he needs to shape it.
I'm speaking at Marcus Rozier's event and he asked me to do a training to teach people about scaling their business, right? He actually wanted me to talk about a lot. So I did these mini trainings. I had 45 minutes and I broke it down into these mini trainings covering 3 things. One of those things was scaling a business. And Marvin Mitchell is there at the event. And when I finished speaking, Marvin is, and a couple of people, Marvin Mitchell, this guy Bricks. Do you know Bricks? Bricks is there.
Yeah,
Bricks is there. There's a few people who are high level entrepreneurs, and they were all like, and I'm like, what's up? Everything okay? Something on my face? What's going on? Yo, I didn't know you taught like that. You what? I didn't know you taught like that. Like, I just thought you did like the motivation, like hype the crowd up stuff. Stick a fork in me because I'm done. I was so offended. Like, I felt a way. And I'm like, how many other people think that I'm just the rah-rah hype girl? I am the rah-rah hype girl because I'm on stages because my start was in teaching. Like, I teach. And so this past weekend, I did. So then as a result, Marvin Mitchell books me for his event, for his mastermind. And it was 100% an hour of scaling.
Right. The
room goes nuts. There's a bunch of high level people in there. And they're like, yo, when did you get that dope? Like, I'm like, yo, this is what I do. I'm teaching you what I know. This is good because this is actually what I do, right? People did not know, and they really thought I was the hype, rah, 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 rah. Fast forward to this one particular event that I feel a way that I wasn't invited to. I see this is an event like for business people who are actually doing business. And I am flat out offended at the level of which I do business, at the level of power that I've had behind many of these brands, some of which is going to be in that room. They got a specific person. This is ego talking. Yeah, it really is. For sure. But I'm a human being. They got a specific person up there that don't have no business, don't have no brand, ain't ever helped nobody do anything. And like, how do you see more business about that person than you do in me when I sit in this chair every single week and give nothing but business game? When you know the people's brands that I've had something to do with and the partnerships that I'm affiliated with, just how?
The way that's possible is because they're just not thinking about you.
Why? Why would you think about a person who isn't doing any business for real?
But that's relationships. You might be thinking about somebody because they happen to be in a room.
I know what it is.
And I built a certain relationship with the person, and I'm thinking about you in that moment. There's a bunch of people that I probably. So, for instance, my guys Tyshawn, they got the Harley Initiated podcast. They for sure should have been speaking at Podcast Summit.
For sure.
I didn't think about it though.
Yeah. And that person.
It's not a personal thing.
Well, and even this person who's upset right now, or I don't know that she's upset, but who unfollowed, she could have been speaking. She could have taught something at Podcast Summit for sure.
100%.
But just like just like I'm in my feelings about a particular thing, it could have just been like, no, it could have just been an oversight. Like now I'm creating these narratives in my head like, oh, okay, this must be what it is and blah, blah. I'm creating all these narratives in my head because my ego is leading, right? Because I feel like I deserve to be in that room on that stage when none of that might be true. And it might be her situation too. Did Harley initiate it feel any kind of way?
No.
Women are different.
Well, I can't say no, but it hasn't. I don't know. It hasn't. They haven't said anything.
This is a real thing because I'm even thinking, and I feel like I can say his name because he posted on Instagram all the time. But our boy D. Who said mm-hmm? You know who I'm talking about? No. No.
You don't know his name?
Derek.
Oh yeah, Harper?
Yeah, he's constantly posting on Instagram about not being invited to people's stages, right? So I think it's a real thing. Like people really feel like, why do I keep getting I know so many people who say something like, oh, I don't fool with them. They be having these events and they never invite me to speak. How do we correct that? Is there anything that we can do to correct it?
I don't know, man. But from my perspective, I've done a lot more for other people, just in general, than other people do for me. Like
for sure.
I'm always building some sort of platform and putting people on a platform.
For sure.
Even before the podcast, right? Even so, I'm speaking at Invest Fest, and I hit Rashad and Troy like, yo, I want to have Donnie teach a part of what I'm teaching. They're like, cool. Do I need it to make my presentation more powerful? No, but that's my sister. That's my partner. Like I always want to give somebody the stage, right? And that's happened with dozens and dozens and dozens of people. But what I found through this situation is no matter what you've done for somebody.
First of all, pause. Rashad and Troy, y'all should have called me directly. Y'all just keeping that all the way 100. We in Atlanta, in my city, we talking business, and Donnie Wiggins didn't get an invite. I feel away. Just gonna put that out there. You said
right,
step my game up. Step your game up. Is that what I gotta do, Rashad? Troy?
That's how I look at this stuff.
MG, I gotta step my game up. Is that what it is?
I mean, that's how I look at stuff. If I wasn't invited, if I'm not top of mind. But I think the thing is, I'm, where was I going with my other point before I go into this point? Nobody needs to call me for something because I'm building my own platform, period.
Yeah.
So I don't have no room to be mad at nobody for not inviting me somewhere, or I don't have room to be mad at anybody for anything.
But David, everybody isn't as passive. You're very, very passive. And
I'm understanding.
You're okay. And passive.
If I don't get invited, I understand that there's a reason.
I get it.
It's not personal.
I do get it. I get it. But as I think about it, and we don't know, we're speculating that that's what this person's concern is. But it makes sense. That could be the only thing that's this person's concern. Now, if I could say the same, I don't want to say that because it would give too much insight. That person has a platform. And I asked this person last year, why you never invited me on your platform? Oh, it's coming. So if that is the issue and that person thinks that I had something to do with picking the talent, I could say the same thing. Like, you have never, ever, ever invited me on your platform. We actually had a conversation about it once before. And she, oh, no, it's not like that. We're going to make it happen. And here we are maybe 9 months later and it hasn't happened. I don't care. But what I'm saying is, if the issue is you weren't invited on our platform, technically you've never invited me on your platform either.
Yeah. But that wouldn't even be the reason. Like, it's not even a tit for tat thing.
It's not just a tit for tat. Now,
I don't know. I'm feeling more away about it because now I'm like going through my mind and thinking of all the reasons you should not be. And I'm not even asking you to do nothing for me. It's not like I'm asking that person to do something for me and I'm mad that they didn't do something for me. I'm like kind of mad that out of all the things in the last year, I can think of mad stuff that I've just out of you, my homie, I'm gonna do something. Like,
do you think that it's possible that they feel like out of all of the large events that you've had over the last couple of years, you haven't invited me to like feature at any of them? Do you think that's possible?
My very first, I don't want to say it.
No, we're talking about recent. We're talking about recent in the last 3 years.
Right.
Black Equity Con, Podcast Summit. Do you think that person's like, okay, enough is enough?
I don't think so. So wasn't invited at Black Equity Con. Not again, I'm just not thinking about it. But in the middle, I need help with my podcast, right? I connect her with my ad buyer and I send him a message like, yo, let's like, can you get her some advertisements? Cool. Mm-hmm. I actually paid for advertisements. I like, even when she was set up on a platform, I just bought a few $1,000s worth of ads just to support my homie. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yo, she didn't get any. So that's why I'm so confused as to what it is. It had to be some sort of, what happened?
This is completely off subject, but I just got a text message, Deja, from the body shop, and they said the part to fix your car is on back order until November 15th. Can you go out there and call Rashawn?
Man, I don't know, man. Like, people are just weird. And I have come to the resolve, even before this situation, that people, you can't, I'm never disappointed in people.
You're hurt by this.
I'm not.
You are.
I feel away.
It's okay. David, listen.
I feel away, but
listen, grown, powerful man.
I'm never disappointed in people because I understand that people's hearts change, their minds change, and I've been hurt by so many people or taken advantage by so many people over the years. I'm never disappointed in somebody doing what people do to me. And maybe that's the wrong way I should be looking at it.
Well, it is. And I think also there's something about you that can't admit when you're actually hurt. And you are hurt behind this, and you have every right to be. I would be shocked. Like if you told me that you and this person had a falling out, I would be taken aback, because there's only a few women in your life that you would feel this way about. And that you are absolute. Is David hurt?
I think he bruised.
I'm bruised. Yeah. I don't know.
Does a bruise hurt?
I didn't.
Doesn't a bruise hurt?
Here's the thing. I didn't really think about it this deeply until right now, though.
You're hurt by it, and you have every.
I'm hurt. Okay.
I am offended, but you're hurt because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody who loves you, and it's okay to be hurt. You're still big, bad, powerful, amazing.
I'm still a gangster?
You still that dude. Okay. You still that guy.
Good.
Okay. You still formerly were a drug dealer.
Yeah.
So okay. Just putting that out there. No, and it's okay to be hurt. But I know that a lot of people feel this way. Like there are a lot, even, it doesn't even matter where you are. Like you have friends who are putting together the Evite, putting together the invite. You look on Instagram and you saw everybody was there, but you didn't get a call. It feels a way. Yeah. Like it happens all the time. It happens just even in friend groups. Like I'll see my friends on Instagram. They're out on lawns at concerts, outdoor concerts on the lawn. And I'm looking through my phone like, because I didn't get any information from anybody. And then I'll say something and they're like, we just assumed that you'd be busy or, you didn't want to go or this wasn't your vibe, blah, 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 blah. And my rule is ask me anyway, right? Ask me anyway. So this person I can fully understand if their issue is Podcast Summit and they weren't invited because from her perspective, she feels like, well, I thought me and Donnie were building a relationship and I'm super cool with Dave. Mm-hmm. Why would they never invite me? Like, why do they keep doing this and not inviting me? That could very well be the case. And if that is the case, it's understandable. Yeah. But I don't understand why it took so long after Podcast Summit. Like, or are you just...
Well, I don't know when the unfollow was, though.
Got you.
And so my sister Jeter, okay, I grew up with her, like when I was a child.
Okay.
And she asked me, like, yo, you got anything for me to do a podcast summit? I'm like, not right now, but let me think about it. Then like 2 weeks later, she's like, yo, let me do something. I'm like, all right. I was talking to Ernestine. Ernestine, that's my dog. So we were just talking, and I think she might have cracked a joke or something like that. Like, I mean, what's up? Am I on? I'm like, let me think about it. Maybe I'll have you interview somebody. So I did it. But if we didn't have that conversation, maybe she wouldn't have been there.
So is that what needs to happen? Like, should I have gone and asked the event coordinators, like, what's up? Let me do something. Should that person have come?
You say something to me. And I think she said something to me, but the way she said it was as if I better do it or something like that. And the text was, I don't want to really read the text, but, so she said, I would love to interview or moderate. This was in May. But that was coming after, a message where she said I was acting funny or something like that. And then I said, yeah, I don't know. So after that, I was like, well, you owe me an apology for thinking I was acting funny, especially since the last time we talked. You asked me to help you with something, and I did, LOL.
Did she laugh back?
Her reply was, okay, I forgive you. I'm like, what? And then there was just no reply after that, because then I just put the phone down. But I didn't feel no way. I didn't think it was...
Why we just can't talk about stuff before we react to it? Like, why? I'm so confrontational. Meaning, I'm so confrontational. And that I'm not meaning that in a way where I'm getting up in your face trying to fight you. It means if I recognize or feel like something is off, I am going to call you up and ask you about it. Just like you just brought this to my attention. I immediately sent her a text message. What's up?
And
I said, I'm filming right now, but what did I or we do? I thought we were good.
What was your message?
Ma'am, David just brought it to my attention that you unfollowed him, so I checked and you unfollowed me too. I'm filming, so can't call you right now, but what did we do to you? I thought we were good. That's what I said.
That's good. That's actually it's a good message. The way to handle some stuff.
Yeah, it's really direct, because if I'm not confrontational, then that means that I don't care enough, right? Either I don't care enough, or I'm willing to let this relationship just kind of dissolve over time. And I don't want to do that. I think she's great. Like, I thought that we were building something that could eventually be dope. We could, partner on some stuff in the future, blah, blah. It's no reason for it. Like, I haven't spoken your name in months. I don't know. So I am confrontational enough. I love you enough. I care about this enough to say, I'm going to confront you with love and say, what's up? I thought we were good.
Yeah. And I can see if this was like one of my, I guess, like entrepreneurship, business, relationship friends, but this is somebody like that. I remember when she was still working a job, and I had just like got out of my job a little while ago, and we built like communities together, and we've just been cool. And I just couldn't understand it. So I guess I am a little hurt. At least you weren't blocked. Here's what's crazy. I was gonna block her, because it's like that would have been. You know what's crazy? Social media is a wild thing. The unfollow means something. It's a specific jab at you. But if you block somebody, it's like going the extra mile. And I thought to myself, I'm just gonna block her.
No.
But why would I do that? It's not. We don't know what the issue is. But. Well, I didn't, but I don't know, man.
The bottom line is we need to spend more time resolving our issues than reacting to our emotions. This was an easy conversation. Hey, Dave, you made me feel this way when blah, 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 blah. Donnie, you were a part of it, so blah, 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 blah. We could have cleared this up.
And why should we have nothing to do with none of that? And it's something like, I don't know.
Y'all were talking trash. But that didn't happen either.
I heard so-and-so said, and obviously, there's a lot of friends that broke up because somebody said something about somebody that this person told me that you said, and then you automatically jump on. I think that's even more disrespectful. Like the fact that you would just go ahead and listen to somebody.
And believe somebody.
Without even.
So when people break up with me without explanation for any reason, I think it's disrespectful. To me, it says, this is how little you cared about what I brought to your life that you didn't even think it was warranted, like it warranted a conversation. Like whatever it is, you don't think it enough about this situation where it warranted at least the conversation. To me, is disrespectful. And it's not even disrespectful as much as it's immature. Like the answer to solving our problems isn't to eliminate everything. The answer, like if we really want to grow, we got to learn how to confront issues and work through them. Like we actually have to learn how to solve problems, because you can't just go around unfollowing everybody. Maybe you could, but that wouldn't be, there's no growth in that, right? Running away from situations is the easy thing to do. And that's what like the unfollow is. That's what the not responding to my text is, because she ain't responded to my text message yet, girl.
She might be busy.
Maybe she's busy. She could be busy, but we have to do it. This episode wouldn't be happening. I didn't know that this episode was going in this direction, but the episode wouldn't be happening if David didn't care, if there wasn't an immense amount of love there. And some of you are watching this right now, and there's somebody that you have made, what do you call it? You have made when you are overthinking. You've made some assumptions about. You're in your feelings. And you know what happens when we sit in our feelings? Like the layers just get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And first, oh, they forgot about me for Podcast Summit turns into they intentionally didn't have me at Podcast Summit or whatever it is. When we don't start talking about stuff, and those type of negative emotions literally become a cancer and kill relationships that didn't need to be killed. Most things can be solved with a simple conversation. Yeah.
I just remember it was a, and I'm not even going to go into that, but it's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate that, you know, the most unfortunate thing is that I am dealing with this emotion of not, I don't know if me not caring is a hyper emotion of caring. You know what I mean?
I don't know that you ever don't care. I think you care very much. I think your way of, because you are so non-confrontational, I think you try to trick your subconscious mind into believing that you don't care.
Yeah. But people disappoint you though.
People will always disappoint you.
That's why I try not to attach myself to people in that way as much.
Yeah, but we got to also learn how to, part of being a grown-up and growth is learning how to deal with people in situations who disappoint you. Your kids will disappoint you. You're very attached to them. But as they get older, they go to school, they say one bad word, they forget an assignment, they lie about their report card, they're going to disappoint you. Yeah. We got to learn how to move through these disappointments and work through them.
Cool. Well, let's talk about something else.
Are you ready to confront your disappointments?
Am I ready to confront my disappointments?
Are you in this particular situation, this person, are you prepared to say, hey, we need to have a conversation, let's talk?
I don't know what that means. Does it mean that I am, you know what? I think here's the fear. I got it. If this situation happened, did you block me intentionally? And you say yes. And then I call and you don't pick up. I lost.
So you have to win?
Maybe. Don't judge what I'm trying to process all this stuff.
Yeah.
If I call and try to make amends, then I feel, oh wow, then I feel like, one, you should explain it to me or have a conversation with me if you had an issue, but you made the first bad move in my perspective. So you should reach out to me. But if I reached out, in my mind, they're like, I ain't messing with this dude. And I'm like, dang, why you? And that's just going on in my head.
Does it make you feel any more of a way that she's still following Dre?
I checked that too, and she's following my wife.
She is. Does that make you feel any more of a way?
She probably just didn't think about it. Yeah, she said think about it.
Am I being messy? Does it make you feel any more of a way that your wife still has a follow here and you don't?
No, I did check that day, and I was like, dang, that's interesting. But I'm like, she probably just didn't think about, oh, let me unfollow him and unfollow anyone that's around him.
I was on the chopping block.
Yeah, now I think you did something that caused this. I think you did something to her, and because I couldn't possibly be the first unfollow.
What would I do to her that would make her unblock you? I mean, what would I do to her that would make her
I don't
unfollow
know.
you?
That was just the rationale that I came up with in my head.
That was poor rationale, because I promise I haven't done anything.
And you just reached out, and now I can't reach out because you reached out already. About the same issue.
About the same issue.
And in my head, oh, now David's texting me. I see this in my head. Oh, Donnie texted me.
They
trying
want
to
me.
make up.
They trying to make up
Oh,
bad.
now Dave texts me.
Oh, they on my line. No. They blowing me up.
I'm cool.
I am gonna blow you up.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm blowing you up for me and David. Know that, because I need to know why this happened. My friend is hurting behind it. I am a little offended, but I'm confused.
I'm not hurting.
Oh, you back hard? You at Thug Life again?
Yeah, I'm back at it. Yeah, I'm back at not letting people disappoint me.
You can't live life that way.
You can.
No, you can't.
You could go around expecting the best out of everybody, and everyone disappoints you, and you're so emotionally attached to people that when you lose them, you just fall into this dark place, and I don't.
I think everybody needs to study the psychology of human behavior. Mm-hmm. Because I don't expect people to not disappoint me. I don't expect them to disappoint me. I expect people to be human.
Yes.
And if we just understand how humans operate, how humans make decisions, how human emotions are created and impacted, then less things would bother you to that degree. Now, if we had a conversation, like if we talk on the phone and she still continues to unfollow me, now I'm gonna feel away, right? But right now, based on what we think the issue is, I fully understand her perspective. And if we could get into...
I still don't, though.
I do. I understand.
That makes you a terrible human, then.
It makes me a terrible human?
No, if you had a relationship with somebody and it's always been good, this person's always got your back, and then one scenario happens and it just throws everything away, like what does that say about the person?
But that's one scenario from your perspective. From her perspective, it's years of things building up, or it's moments of things building up. You don't know. You don't know. That person could be you're right. I wasn't invited to Black Equity Con. I didn't get to speak at Podcast Summit. I ain't been on the Social Proof podcast in X amount of years. Like, from that person's perspective, it's a multiple chain of events that's occurring. But to you, you're zeroed in on the one thing that you think it could be.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Everybody has their own unique perspective.
Everybody has and it doesn't nobody's perspective is ever wrong. Like, how you perceive things is how your mindset chooses to work at that time.
Yeah.
If you are a person who right now, where you are in your life, you tend to see the negative things easier than you are able to see the positive things, then your mindset is based on what you know and your experiences at this time, and vice versa. So her perspective isn't wrong. Your perspective isn't wrong. My perspective isn't wrong. But these are three misunderstandings that at some point we gotta sit down. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't even care enough to do that. I actually care, because I don't like, even though I'm very direct, I don't like hurting people's feelings, especially because I could see how the feelings are hurt, especially if I sincerely didn't set out to hurt your feelings. Now, if I set out to hurt your feelings, F your feelings. But in this case, I didn't set out ever to hurt her feelings. I actually thought we were good, and I care enough to say, let's figure this out. If she doesn't call me back, there's nothing that I can do about that.
How would you feel if you don't get a text back or a call?
How would I feel if I don't get a response from her? Very much like I'm able to just pretend like you never existed. Yeah. I mean, because
I'm just a step ahead of you.
But you can't. No, I'm able to move it that way, because my first response is to solve the problem. My first response is to identify the problem, and then what can we do to fix it? But if you're not giving me anything back, and you want to have this ghost issue with me, because I don't know what it is, then there's nothing left for me to do. I'm not going to chase you for a response. This is me saying, hey, I care. I want to know what we did to you to make you feel like this was the appropriate action. But if you don't respond, then it's going to be gone from my head.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a 72-hour turnaround here. I'm going to give you 72 hours to really think about.
72 hours?
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm going to give you, because I don't know how hurt she is, or how angry she is, or how deeply she misinterpreted the situation. So she might be needing to talk to her inner circle. Like, should I call him back? Should I? I'm going to give you 72 hours.
You are so understanding.
I just
That's
understand
good.
people. Yeah, I understand people, and I care enough. That's really what it is. I care enough. So
do I not care?
You do care, but you're not willing to admit that you care on a deep level.
I do care.
Deeply.
I care. Deeply.
Say it, Dave. I care deeply.
I don't know if I care deeply.
Are you hurt?
I don't know if I use hurt. I will use disappointed.
15 minutes ago, were you hurt?
Disappointed. Offended.
Hurt.
Maybe I don't know what it. No, maybe I don't. I've experienced hurt emotionally one time that I can remember, and it was when my girlfriend. I was super young. I think my girlfriend. I found out she cheated, and I was hurt. I was messed up.
You cried.
I cried.
Yeah. Will this situation make you cry?
No.
Okay. But did you value this relationship?
Yes, of course.
Will not having the relationship anymore make you miss the relationship?
Maybe not, because it's not that I talk to the person on a regular basis anyway.
If you see this person,
because we talk every day pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. If we ended our relationship,
this is a wide shot opportunity.
That would probably hurt more.
Yeah,
but it's almost like a out of sight, out of mind type situation.
Definitely was still a wide shot opportunity, Zell.
No, I'm done. That was my answer.
Just for clarity, though, you'd be hurt if we ended our relationship.
I would be hurt. They still not going to do the wide shot. It's crazy. I don't know what's
Zell, what is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Over there. Yes, I'll be hurt because we talk on a regular basis. We got a lot of stuff going on. I'd be hurt.
Okay.
But somebody that I don't talk to like that, you have these people that
super cool.
Yeah, y'all super cool. But when do I talk to you?
That's true.
Right. So it's not as hurtful. It's not as hurtful.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I don't think I'm hurt. I'm more disappointed. It's unfortunate.
This is an individual shot opportunity now.
My man's not reading the
Zell is over there zoned
out.
No, and I feel you on that. This isn't a conversation. This isn't a relationship where you talked every day, but you do have history, and we're attached to some of those connections as well. And even though this isn't a person that I talk to even every month, but we, whenever we talked, it was really good, deep conversation. Mm-hmm. And I am more concerned with you feeling like, because I'm sure she's going to see this.
Maybe.
The clips are going to be out, and
maybe
unless you block this, you can't help but to see us.
I'm not going to block her. But hearing this, she might block me first.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
but no, I think this was respectful. I am more concerned that there's something that you believe I did to you that I'm completely unaware of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's offensive when somebody feels like you're not a good fit for their life.
Yeah. If you're watching this, if I did something to offend you, I'm sorry. I have no problem saying that.
And I am not sorry if he did something that you're blaming me for.
I think you're the root problem, though. If I'm
For
being
sure
honest.
not. For sure not. But if I did do something directly to you, made you feel any kind of way, or maybe it just could be, sometimes I apologize if I did something to you, for sure. But I would like to know what it is that I did. I care enough. I'm going to say that. And then sometimes we tell people all the time, if there is a profile on social media that makes you feel a certain kind of way every time their post pops up, to unfollow them. It could just be as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Every time I see their post, it makes me feel some kind of way, so I'm unfollowing. It could just be that.
Yeah. Explain that. What do you mean?
So
makes them feel some type of way about what they did to me or about who I am.
So and not even in this particular triangle relationship, but you know, sometimes you are scrolling on social media and you see this person's profile and it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. There are some profiles that make you feel like you're not pretty enough, you're not popping enough, blah, blah, blah. And we would tell them, unfollow those accounts. If these accounts make you feel this way and you're going deep down into your secret, your closet, and you can't function, or it's causing you some type of pain, just unfollow the account. And it could just be that. What if it's just that?
You know what this scenario makes me feel like? It makes me feel like that other people feel that I owe them something. And I don't like that feeling.
And that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody anything. The difference is I say it. People are clear. I don't owe you nothing. We're very clear. And you don't owe me anything. We're very clear.
Yeah.
You have to be clear. So you do have a habit of, and I don't know how that conversation went about I want to moderate, blah, 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 but you have a habit of leading people on.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? How so?
You will lead people on because you don't like to say no. You will say, okay, we'll figure it out. Let me see. I'll see what I can do. The answer is no.
Not all the time?
Much of the time.
Give me an example, though. It don't have to be a real example, but I don't. If somebody says, hey, I want to be on the podcast, I'll say,
ask Donnie.
Let's figure it out.
They'll say, hit Donnie. Hit Donnie in the DM.
Answer isn't no, it's just we haven't figured it out yet.
Hit Donnie. 100% of the time. Unless David doesn't know you enough to like care what you think, he's 100% of the time going to be like, hit Donnie. He will give these people my DM. You've given a couple of people my phone number. Yo, Donnie told me to hit you. I mean, Dave told me to hit you about
I'll give you a number too.
I have to think about it, but you did. I'm not going to say that name because that. Anyway, David, you've given somebody my phone number, and these are people that you're cool with. So you think, oh, here, hit Donnie up, right? And I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll get you on. Now I gotta be
some money then.
Now I gotta be the person to say no.
It probably has something to do with some money then. If I give him your number, it's like, okay, I'm serious, and Donnie needs to work out the numbers.
No, because when I need to work out numbers, you hit me up like, yo, I told such and such to hit you, handle the numbers.
Yeah.
But when I haven't even been pre-framed by you, like to set up the call, so you do lead people on.
I don't lead people on, okay? If it's not a no, if I don't have a yes or a no, it's a all right. Let's try to figure it out.
Yeah, but do you really be trying to figure stuff out?
But it's not a no. You know what I mean? So I get people all the time that say, "Hey, yo, I want to be on the podcast," and I'll be saying, "Yo, let's figure it out." They be in my DM. I can't wait to be on the podcast one day. Cool, let's figure it out. What do you want me to say? You want me to say, no, you can't right now? No, that's not my style.
So when people say, I want to get on full transparency, I will say, here's the application.
That's the version of me saying, let's figure it out. What do you mean?
No, because
in your mind, you're thinking there's a no, but then you're just going to give them an application.
I don't know if it's a no. Many of the people who ask, I don't know anything about them.
You mean to tell me there's somebody that asked and you didn't know it was a no?
Yeah, and I will tell them no. People ask to be on the... I'll say there's certain criteria. So this usually
kind of the same thing though?
No, because I will literally say, tell me about your business. And they'll tell me and I'll say, well, we do have certain criteria. And right now your criteria doesn't match. Literally, even down to a sales call with me, Deja will tell you, you can't even get on the phone. There is no gray line. There's no gray area. Based on the way that you answer your questions, you get a response that says, am I lying? You get a response that says, at this time, you are not qualified for a call. I don't play these games. Like, I'm very direct, very upfront.
You know how I know this is cap?
Tell me.
There's been some situations, some gentlemen that you have conversations with, and you know it's a no. But you don't say no.
What kind of conversations? Tell me more.
It might be somebody that you know is like giving you vibes and they want to take you out, but you don't say, no, I'll never go out with you.
Okay, so that's different.
That is not different.
No.
The definition of leading someone on, for sure.
I don't lead them on. I struggle to hurt people's feelings. Give me a name.
You never led anybody on?
I don't lead anybody on. I'm very clear. Like, I tell, first of all,
You're not very clear.
Listen.
Oh my God, I can't believe you, Donni.
I always say I do not date in my circle of friends for many reasons. So I've said it a million times, and I say it to everybody. Have I told you that? I say it all the time. If you are in my circle of friends and you're trying to date me, what are you doing that for? I'm not going to date you. Why are you doing this? I am not going to date you. Now, there's people that I play with. We play with each other.
I'm glad we get a little bit of truth in this podcast.
There are people,
that's exactly what we're talking about right now.
We understand. That's not leading them on.
Oh my gosh.
It's Jonathan. Finesse. Everybody, when I drop that episode, everybody wants me to be in a relationship with Finesse. Do you see the conversations Finesse has on his social media page?
In that situation, yes.
Does Finesse strike you as a man who's going to love me faithfully? No. Me and Finesse enjoy putting on a show for y'all. We're in church the other day. Me and Ernestine and my homegirl Terrell went to church, and there's a seat on the left of me because we were sitting. Milan came. I'm saving seats for Milan and all of this stuff. 20 minutes in the service, EJ says, "Hey, can somebody sit in that seat next to you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." It's Jonathan. It's Finesse. He's sitting right here next to me. I turn around and I'm looking at the congregation because this is a church full of entrepreneurs. They all know who we are. And everybody's head, because he walked through the front of the church and everybody's eyes are looking at, and here he goes sitting down with them. And the first thing the videographer does is turn around and pans me and Finesse. And I'm like, so you know for sure they think that we're dating now. You know for sure that they think we're dating. But we're not. It was coincidental. I don't play with, look, I don't like hurting people's feelings. I won't do that.
We're just going to leave this alone because you're not going to be truthful right now.
Shout out to Finesse. I love you so much, babe.
Yeah, you're just not going to be truthful right now. So
do you know one person who I'm leading on that I know I won't talk to?
I'm not going to talk about that, but I've seen you operate. Like, what are we talking about?
You've seen me lead guys on.
Gentlemen, have you ever had someone that you like? She says, "I ain't messing with you," but they still be messing with you a little bit. That's leading someone on, and I've seen you do it.
That's y'all being corny. As hell.
No, that's not. That's you giving false hope after a no. I don't want to talk about this.
First of all, that sounds real dangerous. That sounds real. Oh, after you said no, you still led me to believe, so I'm still going with it. No, my no is my no. I am extremely.
Oh my gosh.
I am extremely.
I can't wait until we can sit down and talk and I can expose what you're saying.
Please,
to you.
I can't wait because I'm very. So here's the thing: when you are wild. When you're a woman, and when you're an attractive woman, right? You are always going to be accused of flirting when you're not. Like, I get that so much on Full Transparency's podcast. Look at Donnie. She's so thirsty. She's flirting with Wallow. What? Wallow was flirting with me. And I literally in the episode, I'm like, really, Wallow, stop. Because, you did it. I'm literally saying that in the episode. That's
not a no. Stop it. Because no, we're not.
But I don't mean that. Why is that necessary? I don't mean, I don't want to tell him, no, stop it. Because, we're never, it's not necessary. It's just like, y'all don't see him flirting with me. You don't see me over here blushing because he put me on the spot. You don't see that. It's always me. It's always me leading people on. Why Wallow ain't leading me on?
Right. So there's a possibility that you and Wallow could date. Huh? Huh? What?
This was cold. I had a little.
That was cold. Okay, no.
There's a possibility that I could date a lot of people. I want to. It is. It's a lot of fine men out here.
Oh my God.
But that doesn't matter. Like, I'm looking for a particular, I would like to attract a specific type of man. Mm-hmm. And one of the qualities has to be like faithful and dedicated and all in. And y'all keep trying to set me up with people who are none of those things. I ain't going for it.
I love this. I love this conversation.
No, you don't,
I
Dave.
love it.
You don't. You just put me on the spot. And you've known me for years. How many times, like, you be trying to throw me on people and I'd be like, nope. And you do it anyway. So you put me in these
You
positions.
got this little soft light vibe to you where you are, it's very lead on-ish.
No.
It
Donnie,
is.
I mean, David will be
it's
like,
a natural vibe that you got. It is
I
mad
do.
friendly.
I have a very friendly vibe because if I'm anything else, then y'all call me the B word. She's this, she's that, she's masculine. I am naturally soft. I am naturally very, very approachable. I am naturally very feminine. But because people are because they've heard you joke about me being masculine, and because you hear me being a boss, like you haven't called me masculine, but because I'm a boss, for real, y'all expect that I'm this hard, tough exterior. I'm supposed to be the character that Taraji played in the movie, just mean and I'm not that person. I'm very stern with my clients because I want you to get a result. But my natural nature is very friendly. I have a very flirtatious personality. I was telling Ernestine the other day, I told her that, girl, I flirt with you. If you sit around, like, women flirt with each other, like when we're dancing with each other.
My no is my no, and now I'm very flirtatious.
No, I have a very flirtatious personality, as do many women. When women are in the club together, there's not a lesbian bone in my body, but you will see me dancing with my girls. You'll see like women telling each other how beautiful they are, and I'm the same way. The only filter that I have is around married people. I don't play those games. Like, there's not going to be any. I draw a very strict line there. The only filter, you get on my nerves.
I didn't say that.
The only filter that I have is on married people. Like, you don't hear about it, you don't see it, and it won't happen, right?
Let's take some comments from the crowd.
You guys,
I would love to take some comments.
the way that you just set me up, is so unfair because I have a very flirtatious personality. 99% of the gentlemen that are in my life, I have no interest in dating.
Good. Anybody? Comments? I mean, any comments?
You sit down, because I think you're about to say something. You're about to attack me.
Use the mic. Go for it.
So, I honestly, she's saying.
He got a girl. You are wild. Calm down.
I just said. I literally just said his name is Pete, right?
How old are you, Pete?
41.
I literally, all I said is, his name is Pete, right? Because I want to be able to respond to you.
Yeah, no. So,
you get on my nerves. On my nerves.
No. It ain't even that.
Don't get him in trouble. He's in a whole relationship.
Just for our audience, are you in a relationship? Just for those that are watching.
Stop, David. This is what I am talking about.
I'm talking about for all the people in the room.
Do you see how David tries to set me up 100% of the time?
Thank you.
Like,
for sure.
down the lane, and you just
Listen, first off, Kay is here, and she might want to know what's going on with some of the new people in the building. Ain't nobody thinking about you, Donnie. Go ahead, Pete.
Yo, D. So, of course, Donnie, right?
Donnie.
Okay.
See, we don't even know each other.
First time.
She don't even like that, too. You can't even remember her name.
No, I was hearing Dottie or Donnie. I was trying to make sure I was clear.
D-O-N-N-I.
For sure.
Pete, do you live in Atlanta?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that, bro?
David is trouble.
That's my guy.
I didn't
First of
say
all,
anything. I was asking Pete to give his shares on the conversations
So
for today.
I'll preface it by giving her a disclaimer.
Okay.
We have the same birthday. We understand. What I'll say is the leading on part. I think the fact that there's a form of flirtatiousness leads to what appears to be leading on.
Exactly.
So
100%.
I know what you mean. I'm just being honest. I think
you're saying that I lead people on.
Yeah, I don't think you do it intentionally, but because you are someone who can flirt, it can be the response is easily like.
Y'all gotta see Donnie in a room. She works the room like nobody I've ever seen.
Nah,
she's amazing at it.
She got a whole
It's good.
Okay, but when I was in a relationship, was I still flirty?
Not as.
No. Also, wait, give Pete the mic back one more time, because I love so much, Pete, how you leaned in on my leading on of people. But I also told Dave that he leads people on by avoiding confrontational conversations. Could you just touch on that just a little bit, just to balance this out?
All right. So in business, you a shark, 100%. Professionally, you got it down. So for me, right, personally, I'm support what she's saying, because personally, I've been divorced twice. Mm-hmm. I filed for divorce twice. Mm-hmm. Because I was not as a shark in my personal life as I was as a professional. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we can focus so heavy on what we have is this ability to be something that we don't realize that we still are something naturally in nature, wanting to be successful in, like love. It take work. Mm-hmm. I ain't do the work. So I have a personality like Dave. My personality is I hate hurting people's feelings. Mm-hmm. So I would go with the flow. But then if the flow look like it's a tsunami, I'm out of there. Because I went with it though. So I'm in the middle of the ocean now. Mm-hmm. But when I'm intentional, it looks like, okay, I may overdo it, because now I'm like how you are. If it's hurt, I'm easily like you. Like I don't have to talk to nobody forever.
Yeah.
Because
you that way too?
No.
Y'all have the same birthday.
Yeah, we have the same birthday. But I'm saying the only reason is that it makes sense though. The reason it makes sense is because you try hard to not have issues.
Yeah.
If you move in life, why would I want to have an issue with somebody?
Yeah.
So when an issue comes, I sort of evacuate. But I will say something, and if it seems as though it's going to be heightened, I'm not going to talk to a wall and run into it if it's not going to move. So let me move out the way.
That's a fact.
How does that carry you? Because I see how my point with Dave is how it impacts his professional life. What do you do?
So I'm a producer, drummer, songwriter. I'm fully like creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how does that mindset affect you in business?
Oh man, if it's heterosexual like attraction, it could get. It's discipline. I would have to have discipline. If it's not, then we talking like same way Dave will say. I will say let's figure it out, because I would never say never, and it's always an opportunity for somebody else on the other side to grow as well. So if they're not where they're at now, I'm not gonna put a governor on you. I'm not gonna put a ceiling on you. We'll figure it out, because we don't know if tomorrow, like I would say, Martin Luther King was a snotty-nosed kid somewhere, and somebody slept on him.
Yep.
That's true.
So give him his time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna tell you no, because I know where I came from.
Got you.
So if we figure it out, we may not have to address it every day. But if by nature, if we communicate and it's natural, then we'll talk. Like going back to the beginning of what y'all was talking about, it was eating me alive, bro. And I think you touched on it a little bit, Donnie, towards the end. Y'all spoke on situation in context of the unfollow. We call her unfollow lady, right?
Yeah.
The truth be told, what if she in her, I hope the guy don't disrespect her, but what if in her right, she could be a Judas? If you know the story. Because there's people who get close to you to stay close enough. Snakes don't eat their prey immediately.
Ooh.
No, what I'm saying, that's a perspective.
That's real.
If you drop in a whole bunch of scenarios, it may not have nothing to do with you at all. It could do, if I want to be as close to, it's almost like they say keep your, and I'm not saying she's an enemy, but if you want to lay perspective, keep your enemies close.
Yeah.
I could chill. The way you're successful, you don't know how many people around you just don't want to be around you. Same thing with you, Donnie.
Yeah.
And you can't dictate and predict and telegraph someone's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So why would I be upset with you? Like I met you years ago at Sleepers for Suckers. Come on. I walk up in here, I'm happy for you, bro. We actually was like, we had a season of long enough for you to have a wife and kids.
For sure.
And
that you haven't been around?
You got married and
I got married and divorced. He didn't know I had a whole other life for like 4 years. Right? So I just got divorced last year.
Yep.
So but when I see him, I'm like, yo, I'm happy for you. Because in my heart, I ain't never had a grudge. I want to sit next to you for the sake of, boy, I like your gooch. Man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that to you.
Yeah.
So the moment you get something nice and we've been close now, yo, right? I felt a type of way because you ain't give me you had a Gucci endorsement. The truth is, I like the Gucci from the beginning. I ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that me being close enough to you now is enough for you to be able to shoot me something.
Yeah.
Do with you.
I don't in her scenario. You never know. I'm not going to say what I think is or
Donnie,
isn't, but
Donnie,
let's figure it out.
Yes, I think you're good.
Oh,
I think you're good. Thank
Who's
you.
next? Anybody got anything to share? Okay.
I definitely think, like, I agree in regards to that friend situation, because that actually recently happened to me, like, right before we moved down here, where a friend, like, a situation happened and stuff, and I wasn't aware of why. I knew this person was going through things personally, so I was like, maybe it's just, you just projecting issues and things that's going on, but we never got to the bottom of it. And I'm very much like Donnie, where, look, I'm going to ask you what's going on. You got one time. And if this doesn't get resolved, then I become you, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Where did I say you got one time? Where did I say?
You got 72 hours.
You got 72 hours to return my call.
Did she reply?
Exactly. See?
To
She has
check?
not responded.
So that's not, you got like, that's that your chance. That's your window for me. Like, for me, it's like, okay, look, you got a chance, but in this instance, like you were saying, once I tried to resolve the issue and there was no, hey, I'm going to try to resolve this friendship as well, like our children, like you involved my daughter, that I was like, I'm good. Once that ended, more blessings came on for me.
Yeah.
So sometimes there might be somebody in your life that has to get removed for things to move forward.
Yeah, but not this person. This person didn't impact my life one way or the other. I did like this person. I grew to like this person. And I just don't want you to think I did something like intentionally.
Yeah. Gotcha. Anybody else before we wrap up?
Yeah. I know you say you originally the friend, and then Donnie was establishing a relationship. Now she might feel a certain type of way that did you didn't initially reach out to her to resolve it, and you let quote unquote Donnie do your dirty work or your side work, etc. Now of course that was totally Donnie that wanted to extend that, because she wanted to clear the air.
Because she unfollowed me too. I'm not handling his business.
No, I'm totally. I mean, I understand because I'm right here, but at the same time,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so that was just a thought.
Yeah, but what? And
That's why.
I should have asked why.
But I think you saying, "Did you unfollow me on purpose?" was
That was my extension. That was
That
my
was
extending
your
the
olive
hand, like,
branch.
hey, and she said yes.
real clear. Yes.
That's it.
And what was your response?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
What's going on? Why? What's up? Like, you
Like,
left. That's
caring.
that's a form of leading on. Like, that could have been a moment of her thinking, okay, we can resolve this right now. But you just left it there, and it's hanging out there for anything to grow in her mind of what's happening.
Dave, at the end of the day, you're the man. And you got to take leadership here.
I'm not her man. She got
No, but you are the man in this relationship. You're the leader, and you need to, like, that was your opportunity. The fact that she responded, right? It's kind of like the woman in a relationship with a guy who says, never call me again, lose my number. And then he reaches out and is like, hey, what's up? You busy right now? And she's like, no. If she really didn't want to hear from you again, she would not respond, right? In this case, she responded. So your next move should have been like, yo, what's up with that? Why?
I see that. You're right.
Yeah, you're the man. All I know is it better be snot nose crying if we fall out.
So Donnie, what about the fact that he did ask, she did answer? However, is it a game because she could have elaborated?
Well, no, from her perspective, she answered the question he asked.
But I'm saying if there's more that you're saying he should have done after that, like he didn't get the script. So like like if I'm hurt, you hurt my feelings, yeah, or yes, I followed you, and I know in that moment it could be ...
It could be, but this person is very matter of fact, right? So if you say, is the sky purple right now? Yes. I'm not going to explain that there's like some meteor that came through and lit the sky up and blah, 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 blah. Your next move is to say, why? Why is the sky purple?
So the variable that I wouldn't get, or we wouldn't get, that y'all know, is that she's direct.
So, she's very direct. She's more direct than me.
That's a variable that should be in consideration.
Yes.
I think if there was if there was a consensus and we had to ask 1,000 people, I think most of those people would say, well, you took that move, why not explain it? Why?
I agree.
Right? If there was a consensus. But I'll still own the fact that I should have replied. I should have just put down my pride and my ego, and I should say, okay, well, again, I don't think I'm wrong in this scenario, but there's something that I could have done that would have showed my maturity in wanting to save the relationship. So
yeah, the only way conflict gets resolved is when one person decides to be the first person to lay their ego down.
Yeah. Yep. And both of our egos are up right now.
And both of y'all's egos are up right now. Mine wasn't, hey girl, what I do? I don't have as much ego as people think I have. I'm very, very, very just, let's figure it out. Until we can't figure it out. And then when we can't figure it out, we're back to F you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? We're good?
I was going to say social media also adds an extra layer to confrontation. Like, not necessarily bad confrontation, but just handling issues. Like, I can, like you said, when an unfollow happens, that's like a slight. That's I'm stabbing you in the back kind of thing, because who knows when you're going to notice that I unfollowed you. So I feel like social media, it's created a situation, a space where we can be something instead of, we can be a certain way without having to handle things face to face. Just like when texting started happening, when texting became a thing, now instead of having to handle a conversation over the phone, you got all these people that don't want to be on the phone to handle and talk or whatever the case may be. I'd rather just text you.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think in the grand scheme, people are looking at like, yo, it's just social media, but it's the gesture, I think, which is the most.
Social media is an extension of our lives now. Like, people got to lay down this whole, it's just social media. We're doing everything on social media. Like, we're community. There was a survey that came out a while back, but the fact is you're communicating with people more on social media now than you are in real life. Like, my mom is the meme queen. She is DMing me something every single day on Instagram, from TikTok, from Facebook, Instagram, and literally went to go call her today, and I'm used to being able to just go to my text messages and her name appearing in this, and I'm like, dang, I gotta scroll back. Me and my mom hadn't texted since like 3 days ago. But she DMs me every single day. We are communicating. Social media is an extension of our lives. And once we understand that, then we can move past, the pettiness of it all. It's not petty, because if you've unfollowed me on social media, it's an indication that you've decided I am not fit for your life at this time. Why? Why?
Articulated well.
Before we go though, we got something to settle that we've both dropped the ball on, and I want to document it because we seem to get things done when we document it on the podcast. We owe these guys a trip.
Yes. Yeah, they talked about it yesterday. Drees was like, talk about that trip, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We owe these guys a trip. Where are we taking them? David wanted to take you guys to Florida, to Tampa.
I didn't say that, y'all. I promise. I'm not opposed to a
You
light
did say Hilton Head. You did say Hilton Head.
But I'm not opposed to a light little Cancun.
Y'all good with Cancun? Y'all want to go to Cancun?
Actually, when I said it at first, Reese was like, ooh, Kay, we're going to Cancun. And I was like, all right, well, he really liked that Cancun.
Okay.
Well,
y'all want to go to Cancun? We good with Cancun? I think Cancun or Dominican Republic, whichever one works out best. Do we have a date?
Let's
go ahead and do it right now, because we do what we say.
Maybe not on the podcast.
We are the social proof.
Maybe not on the podcast.
Yeah, you do. What's your date?
Announce it on the podcast?
Oh, yeah, we're not going to announce the date on the podcast just because, but what we will do is immediately after this podcast, before we leave these seats, we're going to put the dates on the calendar.
Yes.
All right.
I feel good about it.
Let's get it. I feel good about it too.
All right, cool. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Like, subscribe, share this with someone. Chime in on this conversation. We need help, especially Donnie. Really needs help with understanding how this thing works, man. And how do y'all handle your resolution? How do you resolve these situations, man? So
yeah. I recommend everybody go grab the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0. It really shifted my mindset and my perspective about how I deal with people and how I receive people. A lot of times people's actions have nothing to do with the reality of what you actually did. It has everything to do with how they interpreted what they believe you did. Emotional Intelligence 2.0 will save your emotions and keep you sane, and things just will roll off a little easier. You'll be able to talk. You won't be leading with ego. You'll be leading with love. This has been another amazing episode of the Social Proof Podcast. We will see you guys next week. We out.
Peace. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.